Did you hear that?
All right.
Did you hear that?
I did.
So, like, I shouldn't, like, burp at all.
Probably not.
Well, it's hard, bro. I burp all the time. Anybody who knows me knows that I burp, like, 24/7.
Can I put that in the podcast?
The burp?
Yeah, no, you saying that you burp
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time.
I burp all the time. And I'm, like, loud and proud about it. Like, I'll, like, just, like, belch at, like, lunch and stuff. And I'll blow it in your face.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wright County Today podcast, or also known as Wright County Today, the podcast. Welcome to June 26th, which is when we're recording this, Thursday afternoon. And everybody left me. Nick's gone. He's up on a golf trip. Unfortunately, I think he's getting a little wet, but I think he packed the rain gear. And Sam's is still being the dance mom of the year. So I asked my eldest daughter to come in and join me. And Mattie, thank you for joining me on the podcast. I appreciate it very much.
Cam was supposed to be here, but Cam canceled.
We have talked a few weeks about Cam and Colin joining us, or one or the other, or something like that. But I roped Mattie into it, and I roped her into it for a couple of good reasons. I think there's a couple of cool things we could talk about. One, Mattie is really involved in youth group in St. Michael and Albertville, and we can talk a little bit about some of the events that you guys have done and have coming up.
Yeah, we have a lot coming up.
Yeah, and then Wright County Fair. We can talk about your experiences there and things like that. And that's coming up in just 4 short weeks.
I'm not ready.
You will be riding in the 4-H competition. So thanks for joining us. We got a few other fun and not so fun things to go through too on today's podcast. Like I said, it is June 26th. It is the end of June. We are looking 4th of July, straight down the barrel. Everybody leaving town next week. Nobody's going to be around. Everybody's going to be somewhere or another, but
I'll be gone.
You're going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. We will not have a July 3rd podcast. We'll let everybody take a breath. And then July 10th, we've got a special guest for you, Westbridge Church chaplain, pastor, faith guy extraordinaire, basketball aficionado, Wolves fan, Jeremiah Curran is going to join us. And Jeremiah is going to talk about establishing Westbridge and how it kind of has become one of the larger faith communities in St. Michael, Albertville. So that'll be super fun. We're going to have a couple of faith-centered podcasts here. Mattie's going to talk a little bit about youth group, and then Jeremiah will talk about Westbridge. So pretty cool.
We're going to talk about St. Michael Catholic Church.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm
going to try to get Father Park on. We're going to see if Father Park will do.
Father Rassett, too.
Yeah,
Me and Father Rassett are really tight.
You guys are tight. You guys have like a handshake or something.
No, we have like 2 inside jokes. We actually got one at camp.
That's pretty cool.
No, because he's so funny. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Let's dive right into it. You have become involved in youth group really the past 2 years, probably, I would say. And Extreme Faith Camp was kind of your introduction. You went last year.
No, I went this year.
Yeah, but you also went last year. Last year, I think, was your first year, correct? 2 years ago?
No, I went first. First time I went to...
I swear to God, I'm her dad, guys.
Extreme Faith Camp, first time I went was 6th grade year.
6th grade year. Okay.
And then... That's like way more than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then
it's literally 2021, but that's okay.
Yeah. I went on the encounter retreat when I got confirmed, which was like a year, not even a year ago. That was in January.
Right.
And that was when I really chose to dive into my faith, and like then I joined core team, which is a super cool experience, and that's just basically like we're leading the youth to like follow a path of that Jesus calls us on, and that's like a really cool experience to see because you're like the ones that are like guiding the youth to like
When you
Jesus.
say youth, like how old are these kids that you're working with?
We have 4th grade fun nights. I think it starts at 4th grade, and then we go all the way to 8th grade, and then you can be on core team, and then you become like the person that's working with the youth. But we start at like 4th grade.
Core team is St. Michael Catholic Church and St. Albert. Mm-hmm. And you guys meet at St. Albert in the...
Yeah, we go like kind of both. Like it's very like on Wednesday we had Jesus in Java, which is like we do a mass in the morning at 8:00, and then after we go and like we just talk about life and like recenter ourselves, and that's like only for core. But core is like 8th grade to senior year, like summer. Mm-hmm. So like this year, Cam would have been able to go to EFC, but he can't next year because he's already graduated.
Right. I can recall obviously my experience was a little different than yours. I went to Catholic high school. So Bible study and things like that, religion classes such as that were very much a part of our curriculum. But you guys get that through these extra evenings, days, Sundays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Friday night live, you guys call it?
Yeah, Friday night lives are really cool. That's when I think there's like one for only 5th graders, and then there's one for 8th graders. Well, yeah. Friday Night Live is
we'll link to all this on social media.
I'm not sure. There's like 2 different ones, I'm pretty sure.
So people who want to dive in more and get more information.
Yeah.
But
those are cool because you go, like we play a game, we open with a game, and then we have one, like some of the core team will go to adoration and we're praying for the kids, and then while they're playing a game, and then we'll have adoration and praise and worship. And then after that, we'll come back. There will be a talk. And then usually it's like either a game or some sort of like small group and snack. And then we'll have a game at the end. So it's like really incorporating like Jesus into those games while still having fun and like worshiping while like making it fun. And it's not like they're just sitting around doing nothing. Because the talks get hard because like that's why I like it when it's adoration and then the talk, because then the kids aren't so riled up. But
sure,
they do a good job of like managing that like atmosphere of it's not just all sitting down, just like praying and like being like, I don't know. They do a good job of making it fun for the kids and not just all serious.
It's more of a conversation and discussion.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. I know you've got some other experiences through the high school too. You've done Jake and the
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
That's cool.
With that, and we'll probably have those guys in at some point when they're off.
Oh yeah, I love Jake.
But Breakfast Club has become this. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it's become a national phenomenon. They've actually had people come from around the country to talk to them about how.
There was a couple this year.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm moving this the right way, but yeah, I like Breakfast Club because it's not like, I don't know, it's not like centered on like Jesus. Yes, we open a Bible, but it's more like he talks more like it's non-denominational, so it's like he's talking to more of a widespread variety of people with different beliefs, so it's not like just one thing. It applies to everybody, which I like a lot because it's very it's much easier to relate to because it's not just, oh, you're Catholic, so this is what Jesus says for you. No, it's very open.
Yeah. There's a funny joke I like to tell. When I first started with patch, which would have been 2010. It would have been right around when your little sister was born. We did a story on the 2010 census. Obviously, the country does a census every 10 years, and St. Michael changed a little bit from 2000 to 2010, and that's, me being silly because it changed a lot. And one of the people I talked to about the many ways St. Michael had changed was the former superintendent of schools at that time. And her joke was there was a time in St. Michael, Albertville, where, being a minority in our community meant you weren't Catholic. Because a lot of people in our community are Catholic. And what the Venadas have brought to, I think, the high school is, like you said, it's non-denominational. It's a discussion. It's more of a way to look at walking with your faith and
keeping it close through high school.
Right. Exactly.
They talk about a lot of high school problems and just how to get through and how Jesus tells you to get through in a way that's easier to understand than the Bible. And when they talk in the Bible, they choose scripture that is very easy to read. So if you're not someone who goes home and opens the Bible, you can still understand and you still get the message. And that's what I like, is because the Bible is a very hard book to read because it was written so long ago, and they do a very nice job of translating it and putting it into words where teens and people like that can understand.
And it's really a community effort. And I would think all of these are people heavily involved in the community.
Yeah.
The faith community. You get a lot of help, I would think, whether it's Extreme Faith Camp or whether it's, Friday Night Live or whether it's something like that, from the adults in the community who help register you, organize you, get everything signed up. And all
one of the faith youth ministers, say Holly, she says that it takes 4 adults to usually keep you in your faith. And in core and in that what we have in the church, with those youth groups, it's literally you get more than 4 adults to help you in your faith. And there's so many people you can turn to in that community that are just there for you and want to help you walk in your faith. And it's super cool to see. It's such a beautiful experience. And I think that's why that's been one of the main parts, and how I grew in my faith so fast was because I that community is such they're so open and honest, and they don't turn away people that are struggling with certain kinds of sin. They're just open to everyone.
Sure.
And it's very it's very welcoming, and I feel there is a lot of stigma around Catholics, especially about how we're not very open, but and I kind of believe that too, but once I got involved in the actual church and in core and the youth groups and all of that, I saw that that was just on the outside what people were seeing and what people were believing, but on the inside everyone's just so genuine and so welcoming, and it's so pretty. It's cool. Very nice because that's what you're looking for when you're putting your kid into a youth thing, that they won't be judged off of what they have done or what is going on.
Sure.
Sorry, I don't even know what you want me to talk about.
No, you're doing great. You're doing awesome. Is that the phone call that's going to change your life right there?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see because I just texted me, so I don't know.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, she's also someone I met through.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's now my best friend, so.
You just got back from Extreme Faith Camp.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
So for somebody, obviously, Extreme Faith Camp is done for the year, 2025. Opportunities have
unfortunately.
Kind of slipped you by. But for somebody who is maybe coming to that age and thinking about next year, because I know they start talking about it in the winter, you've got to sign up early to get a spot.
Core team gets invited, but but the people who do it, it's such a great opportunity. There's mass every day. There's adoration on Wednesday. Adoration is so powerful. It's so beautiful to see, like, the Lord moving in those kids. Like, it's so cool. I was on prayer team this year. Prayer team is, like, where we're cloistered, meaning, like, we can't talk to any of the extreme team people, which is, like, core team and then the campers. And we're on the other side of the camp just praying for those kids. And it's so, like, rewarding to see how the Lord is working in those kids, like, even though we're not with them. And, like, for the campers, it's such an awesome experience. Like, there's videos on Instagram if you go on the STMA Youth, I think it's STMA Catholic Youth. There's 4 videos of what we did, and there's, like, it's just so cool. There's, like, this, like, water thing. I forget what it's called, but, like, it's, like, this big floaty in the water, and you get to jump on it. There's fishing. There's wacky Olympics, and this year, like, I'm gonna burp. I would burp, but Dad told me not to in the mic, so.
Yeah, we'll edit it if you have to.
And then there's wacky Olympics, and this year they, like, took a sardine and they pushed it with their nose through ketchup, mustard, and mayo, and it was nasty. And then, like, you get Sundayed, so, like, you pick one of your camp leaders, which is a core team member, to get Sundayed, and you get, like, ice cream and, like, chocolate and, like, all of that stuff on you. And then there's, like, I think there's, like, paint twister, and you just get, like, absolutely disgusting. And, like, then you wash off in, like, the lake, and you play watermelon football, and that looked really cool. I don't really know what that was, but it looked really fun. And because, like, there were some of the guys, like, opened the water on and started eating it. And then there's, like,
This sounds like a week where you're going to need some extra clothes.
No, yeah. Yeah, like, they do that on Thursday. So, like, that's, like, the end of the week, kind of wrapping up. But Wednesday that's when we got to go. Like, that's, like, I think that was the day that prayer team got to see the kids the most, because that was when we did adoration. And that was so cool because, like, you can visibly see how the Lord is touching, like, all those kids, like, in, like, ways that, like, you could never imagine. And, like, that's just what we were praying for, like, the whole week. So it's, like, it's very, like, yeah, like, rewarding, because prayer team can be hard because you're, like, kind of all by yourself. But you, like, learn, like, the community I grew with the kids that I was with in prayer team is so cool, because it was, like, literally such a short amount of time. And, like, now, like, I can text these people and be like, hey, like I'm struggling with this, like, any suggestions?
You kind of have a network you can lean on.
Yeah.
That's
That's
cool.
very good. Like, you need someone to keep you accountable. And
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
I'm gonna talk really quick about a couple of our sponsors, and then we'll dive into the Wright County Fair. All right.
I love the Wright County Fair.
All right.
I'm gonna cough.
Hey, if you have a cough and you're not quite sure what to do about it, it's been nagging you or something like that, or you found like mole or something, or you got a really bad sunburn and you think you might have some blisters and you might want to get that checked out, Stellus Health is here to help you. They are located in Buffalo and Monticello. They used to have the clinic here in Albertville and St. Michael on the corner, but they have consolidated their services. They are located right by the hospitals in Monticello and Buffalo, and have all the services you need for everything from general health, pediatrics, podiatry, orthopedics, obstetrics, all that stuff. They've got it. Check it out at stellushealth.com. You pop over to stellushealth.com. You can even check out some of their podcasts, which are much more professional than this one. But I'm just kidding. No, they do a great job. They talk about some of the health issues facing us today, some of the changes in the health community, a lot of things going on, vaccines and summertime ailments and things like that. feel like it's urgent, you can walk in over at the Buffalo, same day appointments over at the Buffalo and Monticello locations. Don't feel like it's urgent, you can make future appointments. StellusHealth.com. They can even go virtual for you. Check out their ads on the website or here on the podcast, or visit them over at StellusHealth.com. Hey, Wright County Today, the podcast is also brought to you by our friends at Deerwood Bank. And even though Nick isn't here, I'm going to tell you it was a great week at the bank. Nick got to join me for a community event on Monday. We played a little golf and had a little fun, but we were supporting our friends from the Wright County Riverhawks girls hockey team, which was coincidentally one of the inspirations for me naming Wright County Today, the website, and now the podcast. So fun to hang out over there. He'll tell you that, it's been rainy and wet, but there's plenty of projects going on, and the bank has been super involved in helping our community grow. So check them out, deerwoodbank.com, or pop into the location of Highway 241 and Melby at the bank building. They've changed, but Nick has stayed the same. He's been there for years and years, and they've got all the things that you need for your banking. Deerwood Bank in St. Michael, also a proud sponsor of Wright County Today, the podcast, and Nick Schultz, of course, is my co-host every week he can be here. Finally, we podcast live and direct, though we post it later, from the Selfie Company studios in historic downtown Albertville, here at the Roots of Albertville building. We were live here a couple weeks ago. It was raining then. It's raining now. I promise you it's not going to rain all summer. We're going to talk about some of the stuff you can do when this rain goes away, including the best 4th of July celebration in Minnesota that we've already talked about, the Delano 4th of July. Selfie Company, Selfie Co. on Facebook. Book some time over here, man, especially with this rain. If you got senior pictures and you keep getting bombed out and you want to do some quick candids or something like that, book some time here with Sam and her team. We met a couple of her employees as we came in. They're here to help you with pictures, ring lights, music, all that good stuff. Senior pictures, dance pictures, whatever you got, whatever you need headshots for. They've got cool backgrounds, some local artists who have done some backgrounds. We walked through and Mattie was like, this place is kind of cool. Yeah. So
it's cool in here.
Check out Selfie Company. And Sam Pfeiffer, who is usually our hostess with the mostest, but has been traveling the last couple of weeks. So Selfie Company, thank you for your support of the podcast. So Buffalo Rodeo's in the rear view. We talked a little bit about Buffalo Rodeo last week. You got to pop out there a little bit.
Yeah, I had to work though. So
yeah,
I didn't really get to see it.
So tell people what you do for work.
Oh, I work at 321 Jump, and then I also have another side job.
Right, but tell me about
321 Jump is like those I don't know how to explain it. It's like those trampoline things that you do at the fairs, and I basically harness those kids in, and then I let them jump.
It's the trampoline bungee combo thing. What do they call it? Like the gravity space walk or something?
No, definitely not. I don't think
Did I just make that up?
I
feel like you kind of defy gravity though.
You kind of do. Well, it's on this, I don't know. It's like a motor, and I have to push it, and then it goes all the way up.
Right.
So that's how you jump higher. It's
the bungee system.
Bungees, elastic cords, you know those cords you use work out? Mm-hmm. That's basically what they are.
Sure.
But I just add enough weight with those cords.
Yep.
That where you're up higher and you can jump higher.
Nice. So you're out there at the Buffalo Rodeo.
Yeah.
Rodeo has kind of been your thing, riding and horses.
Not really this year. I mean, we've just been kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
With my little Letty. But she's...
So you have a horse named Scarlet.
Yeah.
And you're working with her, hoping to get her ready for fair.
Yeah.
You've got.
We won't be ready.
We'll
be ready enough. We'll be like, it'll be good. She's come
you might be knocking down some poles.
But. A long way. I don't think so. We're kind of good with that now.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm more worried about barrels. She doesn't like that.
She doesn't like barrels.
So how long? Likes to run
how long have you been? So we should point out we're promoting the Wright County Fair. Wright County Fair runs in Howard Lake, which is in the extreme southeast portion of Wright County, but we still promote it because I would say the greatest concentration of 4-H members is probably up here in the north.
Yeah, I would say so too.
West corner between Monticello, Buffalo, St. Michael.
Yeah, definitely Buffalo.
Hanover. So you'll have a lot of riders and
I would say it's definitely one of the biggest like fairs. Like as in like participants, like actual exhibitors. I would say it's one of
county fairs. Yeah, I would say it's top 5 for sure in our state.
Yeah.
So that runs.
Even though the horse community is kind of slowing down. Believe it or not.
I mean, you say that, but we're going to show up there. And
there's going to be so many people.
90 riders for the Sunday show.
Yeah.
So
for Sunday.
Yeah.
Actual people in 4-H they're declining. So if you want to do 4-H, do it. Now's the time. You don't have to have a horse. You can do like projects and stuff.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about 4-H. You've been involved in 4-H for probably 6-7 years.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. 6-7.
You've been riding horses since you were 4.
3.
Yeah. Off and on.
Not really off.
Well, true.
Yeah. I was like, bro.
That's true. Wait, yeah. I forgot about
Ellie's kind of been off and on.
Well, you for your 3rd birthday, you wanted to hop on a horse, and not only did you get to hop on, you went to Cali Farms and you got to like brush the horse.
Cali?
Isn't that
Grace? Wasn't it Grace Farms?
No, your very first lesson was at
I don't know.
Little place outside of Albertville. Yeah, you were 3.
Yeah.
But there's the famous picture of you with the white horse.
Yeah.
Touching the nose, and you're like that high.
Yeah.
And now
you can see my diaper. And
now you have a white horse.
No, I'm always on a white horse.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Yeah, mine's a dapple gray though, if you guys know what that means. But
so
she's white.
Yeah, Grace Farms. We could talk a little bit about that. You took lessons at Grace and worked summers at Grace for 3 years, probably 4 years.
I was like 6 and 7.
Before that. Unfortunately, it had a severe accident, fire, and burned down. That was located just near Crowhassan Park there. Yeah. And then you did Boulder Point for a couple of years, which was
about that.
ISD 728, my school district. We organized that, and you were able to work out there a little bit. And then you hooked up with Mary Sansevier and Sam Sansevier and the whole Sansevier family, and worked out at
very cool experience
at I'm gonna gap on their name.
Enchanted Hollow
for
like 8 years,
right?
Where I was just a camp leader.
Yeah,
that was a very cool. I feel like that grew who I am very much because
definitely shaped who you are. Yeah, especially with your horses and
very cool opportunity.
Right,
but at the end of the day, I wanted to be by myself.
Well, and you wanted your own.
I wanted my own horse, and it just like wasn't. I don't know.
Let's just say you wanted your own horse.
Yeah.
And you wanted to, wanted to train.
I really liked. I really like being. I wanted a project horse because I want to train it how I want it, and like all of Mary's horses were already kind of finished. And I didn't really want that.
Right.
And so I wanted my own kind of freedom to do what I wanted with my horse. And all of her horses were, like I said, already finished.
Right.
And already had their own little buttons, and I wanted to add mine.
Sure.
So I got a monster of a horse. And that I found on Facebook. And
I'm sorry, who found it on Facebook?
I did.
No.
Okay, maybe my dad did. And now I've had her for a little over a year, and she's
you're
a little over a year.
Yeah,
January.
I mean, you're well over a year and a half. Well, year and a half now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And she's came a really long way. Very long.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
that's been a really cool experience. Is like doing it especially alone is cool to see the progress.
Shout out to
Kaylin and Paige Holm,
who have Holm of STMA and
helped
Kaylin,
me a
from
lot.
Buffalo.
She does my hair too. So
yeah, Paige. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the Holm family. They just saw them
super
at
cool people.
Grad party a few days ago. They were at
her mom's so nice. I
Chase Detlefson's grad party up there. But shout out to Phil and Kim and the whole crew.
Okay.
Detlefson crew. Thanks for the beer. Thanks for the pizza.
Okay, Dad.
No, pizza. It wasn't pizza. It was Cane's chicken.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
Why wasn't I invited?
You were totally invited.
Bruh.
Anyway.
Yeah, but that's cool because, like...
Tell me a little bit about Fair Week and,
Fair Week?
What that means to you and just,
Fair Week is described as the best week of the summer. Yeah. Because it's like... I feel like if you are a part of 4-H, it's always in the back of your mind. And, like, you're always working towards it. And then it gets there. And it's just a blast of a week. Like, it's very stressful, but, like, on all shows. But, like, at the end of the day, like, after everything's done, like, you get to go on rides and, like, all this stuff. And you're there for the whole week. Your horse is there. And it's so cool. And there's, like, tractor pulls. It's so cool. And last year was me and Scarlett's first year going.
Right.
I was very nervous, very anxious because she doesn't like being stalled. And she did perfect and everything was very good. And I couldn't have asked for better, really, other than it was scorching hot.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the end of the week, she was done. So I had to... unfortunately scratch.
I think we were all done.
I was ready to. She didn't want to run anymore, and I was like, I'm not gonna make you.
It wasn't just hot. It was the hot and the wind. It was
no wind. There was no wind.
Lack of wind, and then Sunday was super windy and kicking up the dust. And then, of course, as we're trailing everything up and packing up, the storms kind of came in, and there were tornadoes around the area and stuff like that. So I was like, let's get the heck out of here. But it is it's such a great week. Yeah, it is. I think it's a great week of learning.
Mm-hmm. It's very good for like how to act under pressure, like because there's so much, like the weeks are very like there's usually either 1 or 2 events every day, but like I don't know how to explain it. It's like
there's two days. So this is for horse folks.
I don't know about anything else. I was gonna bring my goat this year, but
you're not.
We forgot to register it.
Oh no!
I know. What's
your goat's name?
Hattie.
Hattie.
My baby Hattie. She's. I haven't seen her in a very long time.
She's about what?
Actually.
4 months old.
She's
5 months old.
Probably older than that. It was this winter.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably like
6, 7.
Dad.
4, 5, 6,
6, 7. Do you know what that is? The meme?
No, I don't. But
you keep saying it and like it's. I'm like, bro.
Okay. I have no idea. I'm saying 6 or 7.
It doesn't mean like anything bad. It's just like LeBron James said it, and now it's like this big thing.
We just talked about faith for like half an hour. And I'm saying something totally bad, that's really not good. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
So
it's not bad. It was just like something LeBron James.
We are literally 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, we're not going to be ready, but you can come see me do my like sloppy patterns.
Hey,
I haven't done a pattern in probably. Actually, that's a lie. I did do a barrel pattern the other day.
And?
It was okay.
It went. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we went around all 3 barrels. Almost said 4. No.
That would be a totally different
Sam was there and he got to see her like like open up a little bit, and you should have seen the look on his face.
When you were going fast.
Yeah. I did speed dash, and he was like, and I was like, yeah, she's kind of a monster truck.
It is not for the faint of heart.
And I was like, that's going to be you one day. And he was like, absolutely not.
So, WrightCountyFair.org. The fair runs from the 23rd through the 27th. For those who are fans of the horses, there is a show on I believe it's 23rd. Let me get there. Yep. Yep. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Wednesday the 23rd. That's the big 4-H day, right? No,
Thursday is the
Thursday
games.
the 24th. Guys, I swear I know what I'm talking about.
Monday is usually trail and then egg and spoon. Tuesday is like, isn't that like halter and stuff?
No. Tuesday is when you first get out there.
Oh, never mind.
Tuesday is when you first get out there.
Okay, so Tuesday is usually like we just set up.
Yep.
And then Wednesday
is a couple things. Egg
and spoon. Then Thursday
is the big 4-H game.
Is like pulls, jumping figure eight, and keyhole, and barrels. No way they do all four.
Yeah, you do all four.
Really?
It's a very long day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Friday, I just said Thursday. Friday is like more pleasure. Like pleasure
showing. Yep.
Yeah. Which I'm going to do this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Going to get the gear and all that?
Well, I already have everything.
Okay, good.
I just don't know if my horse will like it.
Yeah, we'll see.
She'll do fine. She's very like subtle with that.
And though the fair is still ongoing, the Sunday show is put on by the Saddle Club, Western Saddle Club Association.
Yeah, right.
That is Sunday.
Or WSA. That's a WSA show. And then usually on Wednesday night, correct me if I'm wrong, they have... No, not Wednesday.
Cow sorting?
Yeah.
Friday night.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Cow sorting is so fun.
Yep. So
I'm definitely doing all 6 rounds,
which Out West is just west of Hanover, between Hanover and Buffalo. They've got cow sorting, and if you haven't seen that, check it out Friday night at the fairgrounds.
Very cool.
I think they usually start about 7, 8 o'clock. I think they shoot for 7, but it takes.
It usually takes a little longer.
So I'd show up about 7:30. Last Friday night was the hottest I've ever been at an arena. Like, it was so hot for cow sorting.
Last year?
Yeah.
I don't really remember, but I remember her stops were really good. I remember everyone was like, Mattie, what did you do? And I was like, I don't know.
So, July 23rd through the 27th. There's also the Midway, of course. A little bit bigger Midway than... Well, probably about the same as to what we had for Albertville Friendly City Days. The 4-H food building, you're going to want to check that out.
Oh, yeah. The food's
Mattie's going to be serving up food there. I'll be there cleaning up a couple weeks before that, you and me and Ellie.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
You got to volunteer so you can do this stuff.
Last year was really bad.
That is one of the neat things about 4-H too, is you got to do a little work before you can have a little fun.
And it's all the kids. It's all about the kids.
All the kids and the adults help out. And
the adults aren't supposed to, but...
Well, the adults help during the show. You know, we set up the poles and we do some of the raking and we do the gates and we do the
If you want to go to state, I'm pretty sure you have to volunteer like 4 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to get 4 hours in. So... All right, Wright County Fair.
Well, state is like when you can qualify. 7 people qualify every year, and they take like the highest points, so you can qualify for games and pleasure, and then I think showmanship.
Yep.
And first year I qualified for games.
Yep.
And that was cool. That was such a cool experience.
Yep.
And
that
and then second year I got High Point champion, and then last year I got my horse to go through the patterns clean. So
that was the goal.
Very good wins. And I'm not very I don't know. I don't really have any high goals right now because I've already kind of done it. So I'm not very I don't know.
I think it's all about going and having
good
rides and doing as best as you can.
And
For sure.
as far as she's came, I'm very proud of her for that week. And I'm kind of anxious about this week because I don't know if I could get much better than the first year with her, because that was a very good week.
Right on.
I thought she was going to be very anxious, but she wasn't.
Hey, we do have a couple things going on that we want to get to. So, there is a GoFundMe and a Caring Bridge set up. We had a little, well, not a little. We had a very tragic accident during the Ride for Life.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. Mom told me.
Mason Marquette is in the hospital. Devin Marquette has been posting in the Ride for Life group. If you're a member of that, they are raising money for Mason's medical bills. If you can help out, go for it. Kind of rally around the community of Ride for Life and around these guys that just do some, guys and gals that do some incredible work for families who are fighting their own fights. Well, now the Marquette family is fighting their fight. Devin reports, I'm reading from Devin's report, that Mason was maybe about an hour into the ride and really just had a malfunction with his bike and went over the handlebars. Yeah. And
his brakes locked out.
Suffered a traumatic brain injury in the process and a collapsed lung and a couple other big injuries. And yeah, I mean, just not good. And you pray for the best and you hope for the best for that family. The Marquette family has been in St. Michael Albertville for years and years and has supported many, many causes. So if we can rally and support them this time, let's do it. So prayers up to them. And with the ride, you never want to see anything like that happen. But, cars, bikes, motorcycles, or anything else, sometimes things don't work the way they should. And in this case, it was very tragic. So we're open for the best. Prayers up for you there, Devin, and of course, Mason, and the entire Marquette family. On a bit lighter note, the St. Michael Cinema is celebrating their anniversary this year in July. And it's kind of funny, everything kind of comes full circle. They're going to kick it off July 9th. And there's going to be a lot of things going on, so you're going to want to check out the St. Michael Cinema Facebook page. But 10 years ago, when the cinema opened, and I met with the crew out there, they were super excited because the opening kind of coincided with Jurassic World. Well, this time around, there's another Jurassic Park movie. So they're going to have a lot of things going on. You're going to want to check the events out on Facebook. There's the new Scarlett Johansson movie, Jurassic. I can't find the name of it on here, but here we go. The new movie is called Jurassic World Rebirth, which is fitting. So here's just some of the stuff. So there's going to be Jurassic World Rebirth and special throwback Jurassic Park screenings. There are going to be $10 anniversary snack bundles, a Dynamite photo station. I'm thinking my friends here at Selfie Co. probably have something to do with that. In the lobby, show us your roar with St. Michael Cinema turns 10. There's going to be a bunch of giveaways, 10 years of movie memories displayed. Shelly's got lots of other stuff ready to go. And, of course, a grand prize. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm sure Shelly's going to probably have a video or something about it. So that is July 9th through July 15th over at the movie theater in St. Michael.
The grand prize is going to be a dinosaur.
You're going to your own pet dinosaur?
Yep, you get your own pet dinosaur.
Did you take that to the Wright County Fair?
You could. You could. Make your own little group, and then you'd win. Because you'd be the only one.
Your only entry.
You'd be the only one.
Couple other fun things we want to bring attention to. Reading in the Park is in full swing. July 9th is the next date for that. That's at Albertville Central Park, 5801 Lander, from 9:30 to 10:30. If your kids, any grade from kindergarten to 7th grade, 8th grade's the top there. Swing on by. FYCC is running that 9:30 to 10:30 on July 9th. They're also going to be there on July 16th. And then there'll be 2 more dates in August. After story time, each kid gets to pick a brand new book to take home. So great way to encourage reading as we trudge through these summer weeks. And then Thursdays in the park, in the evenings, you've got the Farmers Market, which is brought to you by the Albertville Lions, and Music in the Park, also brought to you by the Lions and some vendors out there. I think Shane tonight is probably going to be a little soggy. Shane Martin Band is playing tonight. Next week, before you head out for 4th of July, you got Dusty and the Dirt Road Band. And then on July 10th, pretty big one, Robbie V, who is, of course, I think a relative of Bobby V, the Rock and Roll Music Hall of Fame member and the man who started his career by getting us through the worst day in music history. So, yeah.
What was that?
Bobby V, the famous story of Bobby V is he was kind of an up-and-coming performer from Minnesota. And the Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and Buddy Holly were supposed to play at the Moorhead Armory. And their plane crashed in Iowa on a wintry night. And it was the day the music died. So if you ever heard the song American Pie, it's about that. You know, it's inspired by that day. No, it's that's a different song. I can't remember the name of the
Did they pass away or
they all 3 perished in the crash.
Really?
But it was the show must go on, you know, sort of thing. And so Bobby V got to go on and was pretty much signed to a record deal and recorded the old, you'd have to look this up on Spotify or Amazon Music or whatever you're looking at. Bobby V did the Rubber Ball was the name of the song. And it was like a rockabilly kind of hit. And yeah, the rest is music history.
I burped.
Huh?
I just burped. Whenever I look away, I think I've done it like twice.
Do I need to take you in? Like
no, I burp all the time.
Gastrointestinal issues
I don't know.
or something?
It's not even like I'm drinking coffee. Like it's not even something carbonated. It's probably because, I did eat today.
Well, did you have fun? Because we're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up.
Yeah. I got a couple sponsors to get through first.
We already did them.
Nope, I've got a couple more. Yeah, everybody wants to be a part of the podcast.
We're popular.
We are.
Popular.
Hey, Solutions Counseling is a sponsor of North Wright County Today, and Craig, Renz, and Caleb are ready to see you over there. They've got locations in St. Michael and also in the Annandale Maple Lake area. That's where you can find Caleb. Did you know Solutions Counseling has served probably, they estimate, 1 in 3 members of the community? That's more than like 10,000 men, women, and kids getting help with solutions for all their mental health needs, which we think is awesome because mental health should be just like physical health.
You're going to have to cut that out.
Yeah. Solutions has 24 power. Solutions has, this has been a really bad read, and I'm going to apologize to Craig for that. Solutions has 24 professionals to choose from to help you. Trauma, anxiety, youth, marital issues, couples, family counseling, play therapists, even hypnotherapy. You want to do it from your home, they can do it via their patient portal. GetCounseling.org. Learn all about Solutions Counseling. Located in St. Michael, an OG sponsor of North Wright County and North Wright County Today, the podcast. All right, and finally, we are brought to you by Peggy Shum. It is always tax season, people, but when it kind of isn't, Peggy Shum will help you with all your needs. She's got a crack team of accountants over there, tax prep. You got to get your real estate statements, all those things set to go for 2026 for taxes for 2025, or those quarterly payments, if you're doing those. Set them up with Peggy. Make sure you're on track. Do your business efficiently and effectively with a person who is a St. Michael, Albertville native. She is the best. We have been with Peggy for nearly a decade and her team. You want personal service, they can do that. You want to drop it off and not think about it, Peggy and her machine team, dream team, can do that too. CPAPSS.com or call her up at 763-497-7817, located in St. Michael, in the city center, in the Midwest One Bank. CPAPSS.com. All right. I think that wraps us up for a week. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Did you have fun?
Yep.
You want to come back?
Maybe with Cam. I think we should bring Cam.
What about Ellie?
Oh, we could do Ellie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think Ellie would talk about?
Probably
being a freshman. She could talk about being a freshman.
She could talk about that. She could talk about her horses again.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Okay.
She's not really. She walks around town a lot. She could talk about town.
That is true.
Her friends. She'd probably end up talking about her friends.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Oh my gosh,
me and my
friends were at McDonald's,
and
then we went over to
McDonald's.
Starbucks.
That's where everyone is at this point.
And then we walked all the way to Cub, and then we went to the water.
They walk everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's like a thing now. Like I see so many kids like walking around.
Yeah.
Good for them. Go outside.
Well, we've had such beautiful weather lately.
Well, not right now. It's rainy.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We got another week in the can. We will be off next week. Enjoy your 4th of July holiday. Oh, my gosh. I didn't even talk about Delano. Well, we already talked about him last week. Delano4thofjuly.com. Dude, it's the best. If you're in town, go down to Delano. Check it out. Otherwise, enjoy your time.
Be there friends. Or be square.
Enjoy your time with friends and family and all that at the lake. Do what you do. Go where you go. Be safe. We hope to see you back here safely on July 10th. Peace.
Bye.